Percy Jackson, a book series that has touched hearts and changed souls and lives and made me cry a lot. A lot. I've never cried that much before in my life. It is just an incredible thing all over. It has a great writer, great characters, great storyline, great everything. Everything except the movie version. That's right. It was shit. It was a series of movies that were just an ultimate clusterfuck, and they were bad. Fun fact, and this is true, I also thought they were bad. I remember watching it and being like, what is this? What are you guys doing? So it honestly makes sense that they would try to do this again with a new series, a television series, to sort of sum up all of the magic that brought us into these books in the beginning. And unfortunately, they're not going to be able to do it. Again, Percy Jackson has an amazing writer and an amazing team, and in the TV show's defense, it did totally pull me back into the community after like a year, and the characters are good, well casted. Everything seems pretty legit. But the thing is, the book series is just top tier, and we're not gonna have anything as good as the book series. It's hard because of the immense detail, the amount of character development, and also the fact that most of these books are written in first person. If you don't know what that is, if you don't know what that is, if you don't know what that is, that's where it's written in one person's perspective. Third person is sort of written where no one really is the narrator. It's a different person who's the narrator. I don't know what the fuck second perspective is doing. They're the odd one in the family. But first perspective and third perspective are most commonly used. And third perspective is the easiest to turn into a movie, because the narrator is not one of the characters, and because it's not written from a certain perspective with a certain character's bias. Therefore, we can show different characters and their emotions, different thoughts, and not have to follow along with one character so it can build up plot points and stuff like that. But Percy Jackson was written in first person. It's an incredible book. Again, I'm going to keep saying that. It's an incredible book series with an incredible writer, but that's sort of the first thing that went wrong there. When we have a book written in third person, it's easier to sort of turn it into a movie, but it's hard to have movies and TV shows written in first person. I mean, obviously, it can be done. You have the main character also serve as the narrator, and it can work. Unfortunately, it's also kind of weird, which is a very odd way to describe it, but it's definitely a little bit strange, which is why it's hard to, word by word, turn it into a movie, or in this case, a TV show, which is what they were trying to do. They were trying to make it story accurate, which it wasn't, not really, and they were just trying to fit everything together nicely. I'm not even going to start with the whole Grover thing. Like, obviously, that's not what happened in the books, but I don't want to be that guy who's like, this is not accurate to other parts of the series, because let's be real, no one likes that person. No one has ever looked at someone who will go around saying, this is nothing like the original. They don't have friends. That's true. That's a fact. So let's put that aside, because I'm not going to sit here and nitpick. I'm not going to mention the fact that Percy canonically has black hair, and they gave him a blonde actor. It's fine. It doesn't matter. I'm also not going to sit here and talk about how Grover betrayed Percy. It's whatever. What I am going to sit here and talk about is the fact that they did something smart here. There's no possible way they could have turned any of these books into movies successfully. That's just setting them up for failure. They're such big books, for one. And for two, each one has so much detail, so much in it, that you can't sum it up in an hour and 40 minutes. And movies longer than that are boring. How many of you... Okay, I guess I can't really talk since I did sit still for 3.5 hours to watch Hamilton. But if you're going to see a movie and you look it up and it says like, oh yeah, this movie is 9 hours and 37 minutes long, you're like, if it's not for a road trip, you're not going to watch it. Which is why it's very smart that they turn this into a bingeable series. Because people really like binging TV. They do not like sitting and watching a movie. I don't know why it's any different, but it is for me too. I could sit and watch 9 hours of The Office, but I couldn't sit and watch a 9-hour movie. That's ridiculous. What are you guys talking about? I think it's just how it's served to us differently. Like, a movie is like, you see that it's going to be 9 hours, but with a TV show, it's like, oh, this is a 30-minute episode, and then it just automatically plays the next one. But that is very off topic. So they definitely did that part right, turning it into a series instead of a movie. And then also because it wouldn't be in theaters, like, that's just a little extra, because I don't really know why that just like matters to me, but it just feels like that makes it... Historically, when movies go straight to DVD, they're not good. If they don't show them in theaters, it's because they half-assed them. Which is why the fact that it was a series was like a little bit different. It was like, okay, so this is working. And then when Rick was working on it, I was like, oh, all right. That reassures me a lot. Rick, I trust him with my characters, with my guys. I trust them so much. And I don't trust the random producers trying to make a few bucks off of a Percy Jackson movie. So that's the second thing. The point I am trying to make here, though, is that this was a beloved book series for so many people, and we're not going to be able to recreate that with a TV show no matter how hard we try, and we're trying. They're trying. The TV show was great. It got my sister into it. That's cool. 10 out of 10 awesome. Was the TV show also not the books and therefore worse? Yeah, it was. It was not a book. Books are not Disney Plus. Disney Plus does not make books yet. Unless they already have. They probably will after this comes out. They're gonna see it and be like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's make Disney Plus books. And they're gonna start buying public libraries. Look out for that, by the way. Disney now owns your local public library. Library. Anyways, Percy Jackson will never, the TV show at least, will never live up to the book. And that's okay. They don't have to be the same. They can be different. I can enjoy the TV show and like the book better. I can enjoy both of those things at the same time. I will never enjoy the movie. Ever. But, you know, the TV show is pretty good. Again, it was cast well. It was planned out well. The different episode names were eye-catching and funny. They did do like a good job sectioning it out. All of it was pretty good. But the books were different, and you can't recreate the books word for word. I don't really know why, but you just can't. Things are going to change. The artists working on the TV show might not want it that way, which is fine. My whole point here, I guess, is to try and look at it not as Percy Jackson, like you're taking this exactly from the book, but just sort of look at it as its own thing, because it's not going to be 100% accurate, and it's not going to be as good as the books, but that doesn't mean it still can't be good. It wasn't the best thing I've ever seen, but I liked it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I very much enjoyed that. I watched it and made candy and hung out with my dog and my sister, and it was tons of fun. So, I thoroughly enjoyed my Percy Jackson viewing experience. But not everybody did, and obviously, you know, there's people you're never gonna please. They either want it exactly like the book, and then they're gonna say, you're an original, you're just making a copy of the book. And then when you don't make it anything like the book, they're like, what happened to the lore? And I do not want to be one of those guys, because they're so annoying and they don't have friends. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is, Percy Jackson movie, bad. Rick himself said it was like watching his life's work go through a meat grinder, and that's chef's kiss. That's so perfect. Books, 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10. TV show, thumbs up. It was definitely, if you weren't like a longtime fan though, I feel like it was a little bit harder to get into. But, you know, they're probably making this for longtime fans more than anything else. I don't think this was like a last resort to get people to read the book. Alright, let's throw some stuff together. Come on, guys, we need to get a TV show so people read my book. People read this book. So many people read this book, dude. Again, it's so genius. It's so good. I love the book so much. It has so, like, I'm emotional. I am very much emotionally attached to these characters. But, you know, I don't know. I guess my whole point is, if you're going to make a TV show, make it better than the shitty movie that was made first. I do like that they did try to do something else, though, because the movie was so bad. They were like, we cannot finish like this. We have to do something else. And they did, and it was better. But then again, being better than the Percy Jackson movie is like saying something is better than, like, the Taco Bell you found on the ground. Like, oh yeah, you know, I love this new ice cream place. It's better than that milkshake I found in the back of my car the other day. Like, probably, but I don't really think we can use that as an example. In all honesty, though, it was a pretty good show. But I will say, it's not going to live up to the books, and honestly, that's okay, because I didn't expect it to. I was worried because of how the movies turned out. But actually, it's pretty good. I was like, sigh of relief when it wasn't the movies. Alright, that's it. This is just one clip, by the way. I just filmed all of this. I'm not editing it. I'm lazy. So yeah. I'm not even gonna watch it back. I'm just gonna put it on YouTube. Alright. Peace out, everybody.